Welcome to the second episode of Sway's Computers. Last time, I answered the common question, what is a computer? Then went over the basic parts of a desktop computer in general. There is now a website where I can answer questions in detail. More information about that will be at the end of today's video. In today's episode, we're going to be looking at external devices. That is, devices that are outside the case of a computer. First devices we're going to look at are input devices. That is, devices that you use to input data and directions into a computer. The first device is something that we use every day, the mouse. Just try to use a computer without one or another pointing device and you will find that using the computer is almost impossible these days. There are two types of mice, trackball and laser. Though the latter is more common today than the former. Trackball mice use a ball and rollers to determine where you're moving the pointer, whereas laser mice use a laser or LED and a camera to figure out that information. Most mice usually have two buttons on top with a wheel in between, which then is used for scrolling. Mice can also be split by how they send their data to the motherboard, wired via USB and wireless via Bluetooth. Everyone uses a keyboard to enter data into a computer, from just browsing the web to serious data entry and writing projects and everything in between. Touchscreen keyboards may be nice, but when you get serious, you want to use a real keyboard. Keyboards can have one of two different types of keys, capacitive or hard contact. To hear a clicking sound when you press a key down, you have the former, as your keyboard is using the latter. Each key on a keyboard has a circuit dedicated to it, so that the chip inside the keyboard knows what scan code to send to the computer. This helps the computer differentiate from a lowercase a from a capital A, for an example. I'm going to talk about two different kinds of game controllers now, joysticks and gamepads. To be honest, I haven't used either one in quite some time, though the games I play usually don't support them. Most often these days, gamepads are seen with gaming consoles as their primary means of input. They are usually proprietary in nature. Joysticks are mainly used for flight simulators, and probably still are today, though I haven't seen any modern ones. Scanners. By scanner, I mean any device that is used to scan information into a computer, from a piece of art to a barcode in grocery stores. Most scanners that we connect to our computers are usually part of all-in-one printers. There still are separate ones out there, usually in the commercial sector. Wherever you go check out at a store, if the registered person isn't typing your purchases on screen, they're probably using a barcode scanner to scan your purchases into the computerized till. Other scanners are handheld devices with small computers that our employees use to scan new merchandise into the store system to verify they have received the product they were shipped from the warehouse. A biometric device is anything that scans a part of your body to check your ID against a profile in a computer. Retinas, fingerprints, voice recognition, facial recognition. These are all biometric devices used with computer security systems. Smart card readers. Usually smart card readers are used with our security devices to secure access to computers or areas. They are popular with the United States Department of Defense. The reader itself connects either externally or internally to the computer, usually via USB or a dedicated adapter. The reader provides the power for the chip in the card and then can read the info stored in the chip, though they are often combined with PIN codes to verify the person using the card is an authorized user. Webcams and media devices. Last episode, I combined a webcam with my presentation so that you could see my face as I presented the information. They're commonly used by streamers or anyone who wants to have themselves recorded. Another good example is those participating in virtual meetings. Webcams can capture sound as well as video. Most often connect to a computer via USB. Some webcams light up when they are recording video. Mine shows a green light and a brief notification pops up on screen. Of course, I don't use my webcam to record my audio. I have a dedicated microphone for that. Most people who use a computer to record sound do as well. Also, other sound devices like music keyboards and synthesizers can be connected to a computer to provide musical input as well. External output devices. Let's now turn our attention to output devices: monitors, speakers, and printers. Monitors. There are two main types of monitors: light-emitting diode and liquid crystal display. I'll be covering them in more depth in a future episode. I'll also be covering the types of connections monitors can make to computers in that episode, so please watch out for it. Speakers. Depending on how much you care about your music, there's probably a speaker system for you. Personally, I use the built-in speakers of one of my monitors, which is actually an HDMI TV. But others will not be happy without a 7.1 surround system. Unfortunately, dedicated sound cards for them have apparently gone the way of the dinosaurs, and we have to rely on sound output from the motherboard these days. Printers. Printers are usually combined with scanners in all-in-one devices. They can connect to your computer via Ethernet, USB, Firewire, or wirelessly. There are three main types of printers: impact, inkjet, and laser. I'll cover these more in detail in a future episode, so please turn on notifications so you won't miss it. External input-output devices. Finally, we will cover external devices that do both input and output functions. They are touchscreens, KVM switches, smart TVs, and set-top boxes. Touchscreens. Touchscreens convert stimuli of some sort, which are generated by actually touching the screen, to electrical impulses which control the display on it. They are most often used in mobile devices, which are too small for a normal keyboard and mouse, like smartphones and tablets, though the controller for the Wii U also has one. They're also used in point-of-sale devices in retail stores and other devices. This can go on and on. As you live each day, you're certain to encounter at least one of them. Before they are used, they're usually calibrated so the computer knows exactly where you're touching the screen and can respond accordingly. KVM switches. A KVM switch is used when you need to use more than one physical computer, but only have one mouse, keyboard, and screen to plug into them. They come in various models and allow you to control one computer at a time. Server rooms and laptop docking stations are common uses of this switch. Smart TVs. Smart TVs are televisions which are able to connect to the network and the internet and can be used for more than just watching TV or other video content. Most automatically update their software when they are connected to the web. Finally, set-top boxes. A set-top box is a small rectangular box which most often you get from the cable or phone company, which allows you to watch TV via the service instead of via traditional cables or over the air, which has been phased out of service. Sometimes they allow you to use other services which have a subscription for, like Netflix, or free services like YouTube. Conclusion. In today's episode, we looked at various external devices that connect to computers, from input devices like mice and keyboards, to output devices like monitors and printers, and devices which do both, like touchscreens and smart TVs. If any questions about the content I covered in today's episode, please leave a comment or join Swag's Computers to post in the forums there. I'll be happy to see you there. There will be a link, like always, to this site in the description. Until next time, may God bless you, and I'll talk to you again next episode.